Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to touch on how to get your video out of here. Before we go any further, and you're nearly about halfway through this course, I hope you feel like you've learned quite a bit up until this point. But what I want to do now is I want to show you how to get your video out, or more accurately, the term exporting. So how to get anything exported from here. So the first step that we're going to do is export a frame. We've already done this, but I want to recap this just to make it absolutely clear what we're doing. So first and foremost, export a frame. Well, exporting a frame is exporting an image, a snapshot. So let's do that. Let's find somewhere. Let's just mute these so we don't have this playing back. And let's have a little scrub through and let's see what picture we want. Actually, before we do, we need to get rid of that master track because we don't want that color grading on there, do we? So how do we do that? Well, we select one of them, go to color and go to master. Remember, source, and let's just reset. So that gets rid of all those master things. And obviously it will reset all that as well. But our color correction is coming from this bad boy, this adjustment layer. So yeah, that's another great reason to use adjustment layers. The thing that annoys me is the fact that this red hasn't updated. Even though there's nothing changing the master source, because it's been changed once, it just does. But bear that in mind, because that wasn't done in this sequence, was it? It was done in another sequence. And now that we've done that to this clip, if we go back to the other sequence, which is in sequences, and we go to multi-clip example, all these will now be back to color. So that's something that could trip you up with regards to editing the colors or anything on the master track. But just bear that in mind. Anyway, we're exporting a frame, and this actually looks a good enough frame as any to export. So bearing in mind that this frame currently has those letterbox bars in it, do we want those? Well, if we're exporting for social media or for a graphic, whether you're doing it on another editing part in the suite of Premiere Pro, or maybe you're taking it up to Canva online, maybe you don't really want those baked in. So let's select the letterbox, which is the adjustment layer here, and just press 0 on the keyboard to disable. We hadn't moved this around, so we've got that full frame of the frame to use. So export the frame. Well, as you know, there's two ways to do it. Well, there's more than two ways, but there's two ways that we know of. And that's either clicking this shortcut here, which literally says export frame, or we can use the shortcut that we've set, which is C. So just hit C on the keyboard. And as always, we have the option to put in the name, set the path. This was actually from a vlog that my wife and I did quite recently, and into our project folder and into images. And this is where I want to save it. Let's just bring that up so you can actually see it all. I select that folder. I'm just going to say that's, I'm just going to call it fire, because that image is fire. And don't forget, you can import it into the project if you wish, and you hit OK. And obviously, if we've imported it into the project, it will be somewhere in here, fire. It saved it as PNG because I wanted the highest possible quality, or at least the best possible quality to size ratio. And if I right click this and go to reveal in Explorer, that will then open right there. So that's the image I've got. These are all the other images that we've exported out. So that is how to export a frame.